Hey guys, how you doing? I'm always really excited to wake up to my garden looking like this. All my trees and flowers look very happy this season. This white lily has been dormant for about a year now. I was so glad to see its first bloom this morning. And we also have the first blooms of marigold this season. The yard looks really beautiful with vibrant colors. I recently visited the local hardware stores. I was actually looking for a door for the room that I've been working on. I was looking for a solid wooden door, but what I found was nothing close to that. I found doors that looked really beautiful, but when I knocked on them, they felt hollow, or they gave that sound that feels like there's nothing inside. So I got really discouraged. So I engaged my local carpenter, and he's been working on a door. And today he's delivered it, and we are going to fix our bedroom door. The door was made using leftover lumber that we had here at the site, and it is really strong. As he works on the door, I'm going to take care of the garden. It's been really windy, and I think I mentioned last time that when it gets this windy, it just means the rains are disappearing, the soil is drying up very fast, and there is urgent need to do some mulching on our vegetables, otherwise they're all going to dry up. The meteorological department already prepared us for this season that is coming, where we're going to have very little rain. So if you don't listen, that is up to you. This is the corner where I dump all the grass that we cut in the compound. I used to burn all the grass to keep my compound clean, but with the advice that I got from you guys, I started collecting them here and see how useful they are becoming in these harsh seasons. The ones on the lower part of the pit have decomposed and broken down into soil, and we will be using them in our raised beds. I will definitely need a lot of compost when doing my raised beds. Do you realize how cautious I'm being with the grass? I'm just scared a snake could be hiding in here, or any other crawling dangerous insects. Things like the centipede or just any other poisonous creatures that could hide in the grass. One time my neighbor came to collect dry grass from here. So he carried them all the way to his home, but the moment he dropped them down, he dropped them together with a snake. So as much as I'm collecting this grass, heaping them here, I get really scared whenever I have to touch them. So I'm being very careful. I pick it in bits so that if there's anything hiding in it, then I will see it. I hope you can all remember when I was planting these sukuma wiki, the collard greens, just about 2 weeks ago. They were these sad, tired, leafless sticks. But look at them today. Very leafy, very green. I had started mulching them the last time I was here, but I didn't finish. So that's what I want to do. The ones I had mulched look really happy, green, juicy, and I hope the rest will too. I did not get 100% growth from the ones that I planted, so you can see the little ones in between. I planted those ones just yesterday. They still look really withered, but we're gonna give them a little time. When we return, I know they'll be upright and very lush. I've been planting lots of food crops, vegetables, fruits, just anything edible. I do not want to move here and have no food in my home. I want a garden that provides. And as always, I really enjoy food that I've grown with my own hands. So when I move here, I want to eat my own food. With the kind of effort I'm putting into this, I hope I will not have to buy vegetables. I've grown different vegetables. So I hope to eat things that are in season, so I never have to buy vegetables. People who have never grown a garden may not understand what I'm doing today, why I'm spreading all this dry grass on the ground. So what I'm doing today is called mulching. Mulching is covering the surface of the soil with like dry leaves. You can use different things for mulching, wood chips. There's just a lot of things. The goal is to keep the soil moist so your vegetables don't dry up in the dry season. Mulching is not only done in the vegetable gardens, I do it to my young trees too. And this is one way I've ensured my trees survive the hot and dry seasons. So the thicker the layer of the mulch you put, the more your garden will be able to retain the waters in the soil. Sorry, when in the soil, we don't call it water, but moisture. Have you seen how beautiful my pumpkin patch looks today? I can't stop admiring it from time to time. It looks really beautiful, and we are going to have lots of pumpkins in the coming months. Another beauty of mulching is when the mulch breaks down, it decomposes and enriches the soil. For poor soils like mine, it also improves the texture of the soil as it mixes with the existing clay soil. It is one of the best ways of improving the texture of your soil. The carpenter had a few challenges fixing the door. Apparently, the door was bigger than the frame. He says the mistake was made by whoever did the plastering work. So he had to scrap off some part of the wall just where the door frame is, and he's gonna try to see if it now fits. I hope you notice he's lifting the door up to leave some big space under the door. That space is going to be important when we are doing the flooring and tiling. All the same, we will still have to take out this door because it is not what I intend to have. It will be here temporarily as I get a solid door. So if you know someone selling solid doors, let me know. I would like to place an order. It still doesn't fit perfectly. I didn't know a lot of math goes into just fixing a door. Looks like it still has to make some little adjustments before we get the exact fit for the door. I always like to work closely with any professionals working at my site. It is my time to learn. I am one person who really enjoys crafts, so every opportunity to watch people work is an opportunity for me to learn. Don't be surprised if you see me trying to fix a door next time. Looks like there's just a little bit that is stopping the door from fitting into the frame. So he's making the markings and we have to go around that bit so the door fits. For my Luo peeps, what do you call Goyoranda in English? Please leave it in the comments so the rest can know what I'm talking about. For those who didn't understand what I meant by Goyoranda, you see what he's doing? That's what we call Goyoranda in the Luo. So let me know what you call that in English. I'd also be glad to learn. He has worked so hard. I hope it finally fits into the frame. Let's see if it's gonna fit. I think it's now perfectly in. All we have to do now is push it up a bit so that we have the gap that is left under the door for the flooring and tiling allowance. With that done, now we have to start working on the joining of the door and the frame. So first he's gonna fix the hinges onto the door, then we shall fix it onto the frame. I'm keenly following on every step he's taking to have the door fixed, and trust me, I can do a bit of this. Only that I will need a bit of modern tools. I don't think I'll manage doing it with the kind of tools he's using. They are a bit outdated, but they still serve the purpose. I like to watch construction and craft videos, especially those DIYs, and I see guys using very efficient tools. They're so fast and seem quite easy to use, so I think I can buy some of those and I will be able to do lots of crafts in my home. So with that done, it's now time to join the door to the frame. One thing I've noticed is you really have to be keen with the position of the parts of the door, like the hinges, the locks. Otherwise, you're going to fix things inside out or have the wrong side on the inside. It takes some kind of skill to do this. I went out and bought the locks for the door. So he has to see the kind of locks that I have before he drills the holes on which he's going to fix them. This is because the locks come in different sizes, shapes, and designs. So this here is our drilling tool. I'm seeing this for the first time. I've never seen a drill like this. This looks like it requires some real energy to drill a hole onto any kind of wood. I've never used a drill, but I've seen the modern drills that are just so fast. The ones that drill at an instant. I guess the important thing here is it is doing the job. If I can remember my primary craft class, this is called a chisel. It is one of the few tools I can remember. So we now have the lock going in. This is the actual lock. I mentioned earlier you really have to be keen with the position. You see he just turned it around, meaning he initially put it upside down. So this is the lock itself. The other ones are just the handles that helps you open and close the door. I'm also learning that there's something called settings. If you don't get the settings right, then the door will not lock and open. So have to get the settings right, and you have to keep testing. When you add any part of the lock, a bit of testing. Every part that goes in has to be tested before any screws are driven in. I bought this particular lock because it was the most beautiful one I could find in the hardware store, but the carpenter says it is not the best brand in the market. He says with time it will have issues closing and opening. Hopefully by that time I would be having new doors and new locks, so no need to worry. I just mentioned to him the other brand that I found at the hardware store. It didn't look really beautiful, but he says it is actually the best brand. So sometimes it's not how beautiful it looks. It could be ugly but durable. But of course, as ladies, we go for the beautiful things. I don't know why my camera has the door looking so small, like narrow, while it's actually the standard size of a door. One thing I've learned from modern architecture is there is no standard size of a door. You can have your door as big or as wide as you want or as small as you want. There's actually no prescribed or there's no standard size of a door. And I think that's really amazing, especially when you have to move your furniture in. The standard size door is usually very limiting. So with the other rooms and even this room, I intend to have very big door sizes. I will not be keeping this color of the door. It looks really dull. I love white, so I'm going to paint it white. We are now drilling a hole on the door frame. That's where the lock actually rests when the door is locked. And then we will be testing if the door really locks easily and opens easily. That's when we can say the work is complete and we have fixed a functional door. I'm so glad that we have today fixed the bedroom door, and I count this as another milestone. As I always say, every step, every milestone counts, and when we return, we shall be plastering the bathroom, and then we shall fix the bathroom seat or the toilet seat, paint the room, fix the tiles, and then we shall move in. I'm so glad to have accomplished this today, and I want to thank you guys all for supporting this channel. Please remember to give our video a like. Remember to subscribe if you haven't. I'm always really glad to have you around. For now, it is bye bye. I'll see you in the next one.